biggest lockdown in human history, India gets into the 21 long days. We know you've got anxieties, we know you've got doubts and concerns.
It's been 2 days and we're being very patient and sitting here, but I have not seen anyone, at least in my society, who's delivered any sort of food or vegetables to us.
How do we differentiate between a normal flu and a flu caused by coronavirus?
Your voice has already reached millions here on India Today.
There's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of panic, mainly because of fake, wrong information circling around WhatsApp. And there's a lot of fear, the fear of being infected, the fear of losing their own life.
The biggest concern during this lockdown for us is issuance of curfew passes for our delivery staff.
Don't worry, we are with you. We'll answer and reassure you every step of the way. Your voice on India Today. Indians speak out on 5 Live. Hundreds of thousands of Indians live in gated colonies and designated residential areas which have residents' welfare associations. And in the time of coronavirus, these residents' welfare associations have empowered themselves with a variety of tasks. And there are mixed stories coming in from different parts of the country. India has a 21-day lockdown. 1.3 billion people have been asked to stay at home in an attempt to prevent the spread of coronavirus. But resident welfare associations across the country are playing a very crucial role now in preventing the spread of the virus. Some good and some bad. Take a look. If you live in a gated colony, you know what we're talking about. Resident welfare associations. Across the country, they've now become the first line of defense against the COVID-19 pandemic. From barring entry to visitors to enforcing social distancing, RWAs are at the forefront. Let's take you across the country to see how it's working out. In Delhi's Ashok Vihar, the RWA is in constant touch with the people and social organizations, making sure that people's needs are being taken care of.
कोविड-19 से जीत गए तो
आप सबसे भी अनुरोध यही है कि प्रशासन जैसा कह रहा है वैसे वैसे पालन करें, वरना अगर इटली वाली जैसी पोजीशन, अमेरिका जैसी पोजीशन या वुहान जैसी पोजीशन दिल्ली में बन गई ना, तो कैजुअलिटी कितनी होगी हम इमेजिन नहीं कर सकते। और विशेषकर अशोक विहार तो 2-3 साइड से क्लस्टर से घिरा हुआ है।
In Delhi's suburbs of Noida and Ghaziabad, many RWAs have been issuing guidelines on the precautions to be taken to avoid infection.
हमने इसमें क्या किया है, कुछ गाइडलाइंस तय की हैं जिसमें कि आउटसाइड वेंडर्स, मेड्स वगैरह को हमने बिल्कुल बैन कर दिया है सोसाइटी में, कि कोई भी हाउस मेड्स वगैरह सोसाइटी में अलाउड नहीं है। दूसरा, कोई भी दूसरे वेंडर्स जो होते हैं, होकर है या कोरियर वाले हैं, उनको सोसाइटी के अंदर जाना मना है।
Housing societies like this one in Kalyan in Mumbai have even installed a wash basin at the society's gate. Even milk packets are being sanitized here.
As a precautionary measure for COVID-19, several housing societies have now started taking precautionary measures at the entry gate itself. We can see over here at a housing society in Kalyan where milk packets which are being delivered, which were delivered at doorstep, are now being kept at the reception itself, at the security check itself. These packets are sanitized and only then delivered to the person to whom the delivery was to be made.
Housing complexes are also spraying disinfectant in every corner of the society on a regular basis.
Every few hours we are disinfecting the door handles of every block, then the lift buttons in every floor, inside the lift the buttons, and we are advising the entire community, I mean all the people here who are living here, we are telling them to disinfect their respect apartment door handles and everything.
people have been deputed to clean the entire premises. There have been multiple steps taken by Residents Welfare Association wherein they've employed their labor force to clean all important places where people tend to touch, especially like the doorknobs, lift buttons, and also there have been proper awareness posters which are also set up.
The RWAs at Richmond and Langford Town in Bengaluru have closed the park to avoid crowding. They're also warning people on fake news on COVID-19 through WhatsApp groups.
The CWA, that is the Citizen Welfare Association, Richmond and Langford Town, they decided that people should not come to this park because you're congregating in large numbers, and hence it negates the social distancing that is being asked not just by the state government but also by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. That is one. And two, the children's play area over there, you can clearly see they have actually put the tape around it so that children or kids do not come over there and play, because if someone is infected, you're touching the same thing. You're touching all the rods. A person who's hale and hearty, that is a child, will also touch the same thing or same rods and touch his or her face. So that is one of the reasons they decided to take this particular step.
But for every bit of good, there's also bad. There have been several complaints that RWAs are acting in a draconian manner and sometimes being very finicky. Couple this with incidents where RWAs have been accused of hounding and harassing individuals, especially doctors and airline crew members.
I wanted to buy some groceries that we really needed, and there were no groceries in my sector. The only one shop that was open in my sector, they did not have this stuff. When I was trying to enter the sector, the guard tried to stop me. I tried to explain him that why I'm here. I'll just take 5 minutes. I'll buy the stuff that I need to buy, because that's the only place we go. Usually every time, but guards, they started throwing a big huge tantrum, and they tried to stop me. One of the guard even came in front of my car and said, "Madam, nahi jaane denge, hame strict instructions hain." So it was quite a bizarre situation. I just wanted to say that, you know, we all are responsible citizens. We are following what the police is saying, what the government is saying, and I don't think so the RWAs should stop us to go out or to enter when we want to buy our essential things.
The war against coronavirus calls for plenty of discipline, and towards this end, resident welfare associations are playing a very important role. But are there more heroes or are there more villains? With Divyesh Singh in Mumbai, Akshaya Nath in Chennai, Nolan Pinto in Bengaluru, Bureau Report, India Today. So these are some of the things, some of the experiences people are having with their resident welfare associations across the country. Joining me live now, and we'll go to them in just a minute, we have Parul Gaur, who's Joint Secretary of Delhi's Vasant Vihar Welfare Association. So she is part of an RWA and deals with this on a daily basis. Parul, welcome. Ankit Tyagi is our editor, who's been plugged into all of these developments in Delhi and beyond. And he's also been filtering through many of the reports and the experiences people have been having with resident welfare associations. But first, some facts. This is the kind of information that we're getting from viewers who live in gated colonies. Let me take you through some of those pointers. Number one, many say that RWAs are banning domestic helps and delivery boys from entering the colony. You may be familiar with that. Many are banning newspaper walas. Newspaper deliveries have been banned by RWAs in certain colonies. There are reports, you couldn't have missed these, there are reports of harassment and hounding by RWAs of doctors and healthcare officials and even airline crew, by RWAs who are a little overzealous about their responsibilities. Government orders aside, there are some RWAs which are imposing their own draconian rules within the colony, and we're even hearing about some RWAs which are actively limiting the movement of residents for essentials, even though they are not legally permitted to do so, but they're creating their own rules within the colonies. So here are some questions for millions of viewers who live in colonies and have to deal with RWAs at this time. These are not loaded questions. Remember, RWAs do fantastic work. It's a thankless job, but these are questions that we think should be in your minds as well. Are you feeling victimized by your Residents Welfare Association? Is your RWA being empathetic, or is it being draconian? Is your RWA making you feel insecure or imprisoned in your gated colony? Is your RWA sharing useful information or useless gyan on WhatsApp and announcements that are jamming you up and confusing you? In such a crisis, are you happy to let RWAs lead? Are you happy to see them empowered with a certain amount of power instead of standing back and letting things just proceed? And finally, are RWAs being more harsh Is it a necessity or is it a safety? That's the questions we're asking here on 5 Live. Parul, I want to come to you very quickly first. As a member of the Vasant Vihar Welfare Association, what has your experience been like? This is a difficult time. Many RWAs like yours, I hear, are doing very good, empathetic, compassionate work. But there are also many of these cases where we're hearing about incidents of dadagiri, people taking things into their own hands, and a lot of residents are quite unhappy.
Good evening all. I think our welfare association, the Resident Welfare Association, has been working very proactively, and instead of creating problems once this 21-day lockdown was announced, we decided to create a comprehensive guideline advisory for all our residents so that this 21-day lockdown period becomes easy for all of us. We have a six-page document wherein we answered all the frequently asked questions, a list of do's and don'ts for them. We realized the issues that our residents will face in the coming days, and we have tried to give a solution to each one of them. So the essential, there is a list of essential services, your daily needs, which are covered in that list. Home delivery services that are provided to them so that they can practice self-isolation to the maximum. We also have in that advisory a list of chemists and utility services.
Okay.
The plumbing jobs, the electricals. Yeah.
Okay. Ankit, ultimately this is a thankless job. While we've been getting mixed results when we look at RWAs across the country, ultimately this is a thankless job in a situation where there are more uncertainties than certainties, Ankit.
Absolutely, Shiv. There are a lot of people, those who associate RWAs with, people, those who are retired, just doing it, getting a sense of purpose of where they're living. But just let me clarify what is the position of the RWAs vis-a-vis the law.
Yes.
So the RWAs are basically voluntary citizen bodies which are registered under the Societies Registration Act 1860. It is not a legal body. So the RWAs don't have any legal right to infringe on a homeowner's privacy or speech or, in that aspect. But yes, they can make certain rules and regulations when it comes to the matters of building maintenance functions or, even as far as the day-to-day functioning in the building is concerned, be it security, what time will what change, the maintenance of the building, so and so forth. Now, there are two aspects to what we are talking about. Like the member of the RWA from Vasant Vihar, like she was telling us, so there is one aspect of informing people of what has happened. These are your chemist shops around. This is what you can do. This is what you can't do. But the other problem, Shiv, like many of our colleagues, those who are in media, are also facing of RWAs using this kind of an atmosphere of fear, of panic of coronavirus on trying to infringe on what people are doing. No, we won't let you go. Even if you are a doctor, don't come back. You are going to spread, coronavirus in the society. That has to be checked. I mean, this can't legally can't be done.
Yeah.
And as far as the other work is concerned, it's a great job of trying to unite people and keep things moving as far as these times of uncertainty are concerned.
But, Parul, I know that your association is doing good work of informing people, being empathetic. What would you say about, many residents' welfare associations? And I'm sorry to say, we've got reports of this from many parts of Delhi, Noida and Gurgaon, where people appear to be on a bit of a power trip. Suddenly you've got this crisis and these RWAs feel like they've got a little bit of additional power and they want to impose it on colony residents. What do you say about that?
I think that the way a certain RWA works, the credit of that goes to the whole committee as such. And we have a very visionary president in Mr. Bindra with us, who likes to take the bull by its horn. we have Ms. Murgai, we have Mr. Garg, who's a financial whiz, and we have tried to work cohesively along with the residents. Instead of challenging them or practicing some draconian laws, we've tried to understand why must a person need to step out if you're bringing a solution to their doorstep. So, in continuation to what I said, we have a panel of doctors who are available 24/7, who are within Vasant Vihar and have generously offered their services through the day and through the night. We have a helpline for all our senior citizens where we have volunteered to reach out to them should they need anything. And besides that, we have a mental health expert on our panel, a list of legal experts. So each solution is given in the guidelines. I can share that with you. It's a very comprehensive document of 6 pages, which has got almost everything. And we are continuously updating that so that our residents don't have any issues. They come up with issues and we come up with solutions.
New problems.
So we are working beautifully together, and there is no
I think that's wonderful to hear that. I will take you up on that offer, Parul. I will take those 6 pages. We'll do a story on that as well, so RWAs across the country can actually learn from it. You wanted to add something, Parul?
Yes. Yeah, I wanted to tell you, and our RWA has some young people working, so I think that kind of balances. No, not only retired old people, but I'm relatively younger, and along with me, I have some wonderful volunteers, young ladies who are motivated and extremely talented, and we're all bringing solutions on the table. We understand it's a very hard time, but it's time to serve and not be on any power trip. This is the only time to serve and kind of give it back to the society.
I want that message to go out to all RWAs that may be on a power trip. It's a time to serve, not a time for any draconian rules, not to impose rules and not to make life difficult. It's a new challenge for everyone. We're all in this together. Ankit and Parul, thank you so much. It's a pleasure listening to people who are really plugged into this activity right now. And this is important because with millions of people locked into their colonies, their movements restricted right now, they would like some reassurance that the people, the RWAs, which are functioning as their representatives, are having their best interests at heart and in mind. Well, as India is under this unprecedented lockdown till the 14th of April, despite whatever rumors you've been hearing, we know you're anxious and worried, whether it is about RWAs or essentials or other things. Don't worry, like we at India Today have been doing all of last week. We are with you at every step, and we will be taking up all of your queries and concerns regarding the problems you're facing during this lockdown. Remember, tomorrow, can you believe it? It's going to be one full week. We'll answer all your concerns and doubts, and we'll make sure that your voices are heard by the authorities.
The closure has been announced and all businesses have come to a standstill. How do you expect us to pay salaries, taxes, electricity bills, rentals? We don't mind sitting at home till the end of April. We want to know, can we look at a 6 months rebate on these points?
There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of panic, mainly because of fake, wrong information circling around WhatsApp. And there's a lot of fear, the fear of being infected, the fear of losing their own life, the fear of losing our loved ones, the fear of limited access to essentials like groceries, the fear of loss, financial loss, losing your job and being bankrupt with your company, the fear of not being able to have that freedom anymore to go outside or to make any choices if you like, anger, boredom, traumatic stress. People experience more and more cabin fever. That means being, feeling claustrophobic, being with too many people in a too little space. So how to deal with our loved ones? We can't have them 24/7 with us, but we really love them. We really respect them. How to deal with them? How to deal and manage yourself?
We are an ancient civilization with a very beautiful, ancient, effective Ayurvedic system. I wish that we as people and we as the government take in partnership our very renowned Ayurvedic institutions that the world acknowledges and spread awareness about prevention, about protection, even about, supplementary care when you have respiratory tract infections. China is making it a mandatory thing. China is availing of its ancient system, and I don't see why we are not emphasizing prevention.
Your voices will continue to be here on India Today. Don't miss what's coming up at 6 p.m. We've got a path-breaking investigation, Operation Ventilator Vultures. Shocking investigation by India Today with Rahul Kanwal coming up. But I'm leaving you with some good news before that here on 5 Live. Good news for pizza lovers at least. India Today's Pooja Shali shows you how deliveries of pizza are finally back on, and all precautions, in case you're wondering, are being taken. Enjoy.
What if you're hungry right away, want to take out delivery? Pizza. All right, so Pizza Hut will be seeing you soon. Stay home and take care. They have closed their restaurants from 25th of March until further notice. Take a look at this. This is the message of their team. What about Domino's? Okay, so Domino's is taking some orders. Let's try and add to cart. All right, so we have placed 2 pizza orders and we add a Coke to it. All right, so I've booked 2 pizzas for myself. Let's pay now. Order confirmed. All right, so my order has been confirmed of a pizza at least. I am now going to wait for it to be delivered right at my doorstep. So he's ensuring that the food that is delivered is not being given to me directly. He's putting it in a bag and he's ensuring that all precautions are being taken. तो आप हाथ में नहीं दे रहे हैं किसी को अभी? No, हाँ? No. Distance से? Yeah. फिर आप वहीं रख के जा रहे हैं, कैसे दे रहे हैं?
मैम हम पूछते हैं कि कहाँ पे आपको रखना है, कोई सेफ जगह बता दीजिए, वहाँ रख देता हूँ मैं, फिर उसके बाद हम चलेंगे.
He's keeping his distance. He's told me he's not going to give it to me directly. So जैसा आपको safe लगे, आप अपनी तरफ से यहाँ चेयर पे रख दीजिए सर. Thank you so much. Thank you and you also stay safe. So they are taking all precautions. Home delivery is coming. He's wearing his gloves. He's wearing his mask, and he's not given the food to me directly, but my food is here. Thank you, sir. So my food has been delivered. Let's find out what is in it. And it is the pizza that's been delivered. My piping hot Domino's pizza is here. And he did not deliver it to me. He was taking precautions. I will also only wash my hands first. Then I will take a slice from this. We are at work, but we do need to also ensure that while we are eating, to take precautions. And some essentials are not being delivered in time. There's a delayed delivery like I saw, but some, like the pizza here, is being delivered to you in time. Stay indoors, stay safe, take care of yourselves. We are doing our duty here at work. I hope you are doing your duty as well. Thank you so much for watching. With Mahesh Kandpal, Pooja Shali.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kanwal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.